My entitled family disowned me because I wouldn't donate my kidney to my golden child brother. They froze when the doctor proved he was faking kidney failure to get disability money. Where are you watching from today? Drop your location in the comments below and hit that like and subscribe button so you won't miss more interesting stories. My name is Daniel, and I have always been the spare part in my family's machine. I grew up in a house where the sun rose and set on my younger brother, Tyler. Tyler was the golden child. He was born 3 years after me, and from the moment he arrived, I became invisible. If Tyler cried, my mother rushed to him. If I cried, I was told to man up. Tyler was charismatic. I'll give him that. He had a smile that could charm the money out of a stranger's wallet. But he was also lazy, manipulative, and completely devoid of a conscience. He cheated on his tests in high school, and when he got caught, my parents blamed the teacher for being too strict. He crashed his first car while drunk, and my father paid off the other driver to keep the police out of it. I, on the other hand, was the boring one. I studied hard. I worked weekends at a hardware store. I paid for my own college tuition because my parents said they had to save the college fund for Tyler. Tyler, of course, dropped out of 3 different colleges in 4 years and spent the money on parties and trips to Cancun. Now, at 28 years old, I am a software engineer. I make good money. I own my own condo. I am independent. Tyler is 25. He lives in my parents' basement. He doesn't have a job. He spends his days playing video games and posting influencer content on social media, trying to get famous. He calls it his career. My parents support him fully. They buy his groceries, pay his phone bill, and give him an allowance. I distanced myself from them years ago. I show up for Christmas and Thanksgiving, keep my mouth shut, and leave as early as possible. But 3 months ago, the dynamic shifted from annoying to dangerous. I got a call from my mother, Linda. She was sobbing hysterically. "Daniel, you have to come over," she cried. "It's Tyler. It's bad. He's dying." I felt a cold spike in my chest. Even though I resented Tyler, he was still my brother. I didn't want him to die. I rushed over to my parents' house. My dad, Robert, was sitting at the kitchen table with his head in his hands. Tyler was lying on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, looking pale and tragic. "What's going on?" I asked. "Ideally, we wanted to tell you this gently," Mom sniffled. "But there is no time. Tyler has been diagnosed with stage 5 renal failure. His kidneys are shutting down. He needs a transplant immediately." I looked at Tyler. He gave a weak cough. "It's true, bro," Tyler whispered. "The doctor said my toxins are through the roof. I could go any day now." "Stage 5? I asked. "How did this happen? You were fine last week." "It's genetic," Mom said quickly. "Or maybe environmental. It doesn't matter. What matters is that he needs a kidney. The waiting list is 5 years long. He doesn't have 5 years." She looked at me with wide, expectant eyes. Dad looked up too. "You're the same blood type," Dad said. "We checked your birth records. You're both O positive." I took a step back. "Wait, are you asking me to?" "We aren't asking," Mom said firmly. "We are telling you. You are his brother. You have 2 kidneys. You only need 1. Tyler needs 1 to live." It was an ambush. They hadn't even asked how I was. They just saw me as a walking organ bank for their precious Tyler. I need to think about this," I stammered. "It's a major surgery. There are risks." "Risks?" Dad stood up, his face turning red. "Your brother is dying, and you're worried about a scar? You are selfish, Daniel. You have always been selfish." "I'm not saying no," I said, trying to stay calm. "I'm saying I need to see the medical reports. I need to talk to a doctor. This is huge." Tyler let out a loud, theatrical groan of pain. "Mom, it hurts." Mom rushed to him. "See what you're doing to him?" She screamed at me. "Your hesitation is killing him. If you walk out that door without promising to save him, don't bother coming back." I walked out. I needed air. I needed to think. The harassment started the next morning. My phone blew up. My mother sent me text messages every hour. "Tyler threw up this morning. Hope you're happy. He's so weak he can't walk. You are a monster. God is watching you, Daniel." Then came the social media campaign. Tyler posted a photo of himself in a hospital bed. I later found out it was just a photo from when he got his tonsils out 2 years ago, cropped to look serious. The caption read, "Fighting for my life. Kidney failure is no joke. My only hope is a transplant, but my family members are turning their backs on me. Please donate to my GoFundMe to help with medical bills and dialysis costs. #KidneyWarrior #Betrayal. He didn't name me, but everyone knew. Family friends started commenting, tagging me. Daniel, how could you? Step up. Bro, save your brother. The GoFundMe raised $20,000 in 3 days. People love a tragedy. I felt guilty. Truly guilty. Maybe I was being selfish. If he really was dying, could I live with myself if I let him go? I called my parents a week later. Okay, I said. I'll do it. I'll get tested to see if I'm a match. Thank God, Mom wept. I knew you had a heart somewhere in that cold chest of yours. But, I added, I want to go to the appointments with him. I want to meet his specialist. I want to understand the procedure. Fine, Dad said. His appointment is next Tuesday at Dr. Evans' clinic. Be there. I arrived at the clinic on Tuesday. It wasn't a hospital. It was a private practice in a strip mall. That was my first red flag. Usually, transplant cases are handled by major hospitals with surgical teams. I met Dr. Evans. He was an older guy, looked a bit tired. He didn't seem like a high-powered nephrologist. Tyler's condition is severe, Dr. Evans told us in the office. Tyler was slumped in the chair, looking pitiful. His creatinine levels are critical. We need to schedule the transplant as soon as a donor is confirmed. I'm the donor, I said. I'm ready to do the blood work. Good, Dr. Evans said. We can do the preliminary draw here. I gave my blood. I watched Tyler give his blood. Something bothered me, though. As we were leaving, I saw Tyler wink at the receptionist. And when we got to the parking lot, Tyler forgot his limp for a second before remembering to drag his leg again. Also the smell. Tyler smelled like stale beer and pepperoni. I thought you were on a renal diet? I asked him. Low protein, no alcohol. I am. Tyler snapped. I used some mouthwash that smells weird. I went home, but the suspicion gnawed at me. I started researching kidney failure. The symptoms were specific: swelling, confusion, shortness of breath. Tyler had none of that. He just acted tired. And the clinic. I looked up Dr. Evans. He was a general practitioner. He wasn't a nephrologist. He wasn't a surgeon. Why was a GP managing a stage 5 kidney failure case? I decided to run a test of my own. I have a friend, Sarah, who works as a nurse at the city's main university hospital, the only place in the region that actually performs kidney transplants. Sarah, I asked her over coffee, is Tyler Miller in your system? Does he have a transplant file? She checked for me illegally. I know, bad, but necessary. No, she said. We have no record of a Tyler Miller being evaluated for a transplant. And Daniel, if he needs a kidney, he has to be in our system. We are the only transplant center in the state. My blood ran cold. He wasn't on the list. I went back to my parents' house that night. I need to talk to you, I said. Did you get the results? Mom asked eagerly. Are you a match? I want a second opinion, I said. What? Dad yelled. Dr. Evans is a family friend. He knows what he's doing. If I am going to give an organ, I said calmly, I am doing it at the university hospital. That is where the surgery would happen anyway. I made an appointment for Tyler for tomorrow morning with Dr. Patel. He is the head of nephrology. We don't need another doctor. Tyler shouted, jumping off the couch with surprising energy. I'm sick. Just give me the kidney. If you are sick, I said, then Dr. Patel will confirm it in 5 minutes. If you refuse to go, I refuse to donate. Period. My parents were furious. They screamed. They threatened. They told me I was disowned. If you don't do this, you are no son of mine. Dad yelled. Get out. You are dead to us. Fine, I said. I'm dead to you. But the offer stands. University Hospital. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. If you want the kidney, you show up. I left. I didn't think they would come. But the greed was too strong. They needed my kidney, or so I thought. Or maybe they just needed to keep the charade going to get the donation money. The next morning, surprisingly, they showed up. Tyler looked nervous. He was sweating. He was wearing baggy clothes. Mom and Dad looked at me with pure hatred. Let's get this over with so you can stop stalling, Mom hissed. We went in. Dr. Patel was a serious man. He didn't mess around. Tyler Miller, Dr. Patel said, looking at the chart. You claim to be in end-stage renal disease. Do you have your dialysis records? I haven't started dialysis yet, Tyler stammered. I'm trying to treat it holistically. Dr. Patel raised an eyebrow. Stage 5 without dialysis. You should be comatose or dead. Let's get some labs. Stat. They took Tyler back. They drew blood. They took a urine sample. But this time, unlike at Dr. Evans' office, the nurse stood outside the door to ensure the sample wasn't tampered with, and they did the blood draw themselves. We waited for an hour. The silence in the waiting room was heavy. My parents held Tyler's hands. I sat across from them, alone. Finally, Dr. Patel called us back. He held a clipboard. He looked confused. Or angry. It was hard to tell. I have the results, Dr. Patel said. Is he okay? Mom cried. Does he need the surgery today? Dr. Patel looked at Mom, then at Tyler. Mrs. Miller, Dr. Patel said. Your son's kidneys are functioning at 100%. In fact, his filtration rate is better than mine. The room froze. What? Dad asked. That's impossible. Dr. Evans said. I don't know who Dr. Evans is. Dr. Patel cut him off. But biologically, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this young man's kidneys. His creatinine is normal. His BUN is normal. There is no protein in his urine. But he's sick. Mom insisted. Look at him. He's weak. Dr. Patel turned to Tyler. Tyler, would you like to explain why your blood work shows high levels of sodium, and is that beer? But zero signs of renal failure? Tyler started shaking. The labs are wrong. You mixed them up. We did not, Dr. Patel said sternly. I also ran a toxicology screen. Tyler, have you been taking diuretics? Water pills? Tyler went pale. Taking diuretics in large doses can cause temporary dehydration and throw off simple tests to make it look like kidney stress if you don't look closely, Dr. Patel explained. It mimics the symptoms for a generic checkup, but it doesn't fool a comprehensive blood panel. I stood up. The pieces fell into place. You faked it, I said. I didn't. Tyler yelled. You faked it to get the GoFundMe money, I said, and to get on disability. You told me last month you were applying for disability checks. Is this true? Dad looked at Tyler. Tyler, tell me it's not true. Tyler burst into tears. But it wasn't sad tears. It was the tears of a child caught stealing a cookie. I needed the money. Tyler sobbed. I have debts. Online gambling debts. And Mom and Dad wouldn't give me enough. I thought if I got disability, I would have a steady income. And the GoFundMe was doing so well. You told us you were dying, Mom whispered. She looked like she had been slapped. I haven't slept in weeks. I've been praying. I've been planning your funeral in my head. I was going to have a miraculous recovery after the transplant. Tyler confessed. I thought Daniel would donate. The doctors would open me up, see the kidney was fine, and just close me up. But I would still get the sympathy money. You idiot, Dr. Patel said, breaking his professional demeanor. If we opened you up and replaced a healthy kidney, you could have died. Surgery isn't a game. And you wanted me to go through a major surgery for a prank? I shouted. You wanted to cut me open so you could pay off your gambling debts? Tyler looked down. You have insurance, Daniel. It wouldn't have cost you anything. I looked at my parents. They were frozen. They were staring at their golden child like he was an alien. You disowned me, I said to them. You kicked me out of the family. You told everyone I was a monster. For him. Daniel, wait, Dad stammered. We didn't know. We were duped. You were duped because you wanted to believe him, I said. You enabled him his whole life. This is your monster. You made him. We can fix this. Mom reached for my arm. We can give the money back. We can tell people it was a misdiagnosis. No, I said, pulling away. You can't fix this. I turned to Dr. Patel. Doctor, since he admitted to fraud regarding the GoFundMe and disability, are you obligated to report this? Dr. Patel nodded. Since he used medical resources under false pretenses and billed insurance for these tests, yes. This is insurance fraud. An attempted disability fraud. I will be filing a report. Tyler started wailing. Mom, do something. Don't let them arrest me. I'm leaving, I said. Daniel, please. Dad begged. You can't leave us with this mess. I'm not your son, remember? I said. I'm dead to you. I walked out of the hospital. The air had never tasted so sweet. The fallout was spectacular. Dr. Patel filed his report. The insurance company launched an investigation. They found out about the GoFundMe. Because the GoFundMe raised over $20,000 based on a lie, it was wire fraud. The police got involved. Tyler was arrested a week later. The local news picked up the story. Local influencer fakes cancer for cash. They got the disease wrong initially, but corrected it to kidney failure later. My parents were humiliated. They had to refund all the donations out of their own savings because Tyler had already spent half of it on online poker and a new gaming PC. They were pariahs in the community. The friends who shamed me on Facebook, they deleted their comments and blocked my parents. Tyler is currently facing 3 years in prison. He took a plea deal. My parents tried to come to my condo last week. They stood outside the door for an hour, knocking. Daniel, please, Mom cried through the door. We have no one left. We lost our retirement paying back the fraud. We need help. I watched them on my doorbell camera. They looked old. They looked broken. I didn't open the door. Instead, I pressed the button on the intercom. "You have a son," I said. "His name is Tyler. Go ask him." Then I went back to my living room, sat down, and drank a glass of water. It was crisp, clean, and refreshing. Just like my kidneys.